Hello everyone, this is going to be a quick tool how to use the task tool on the PC. So assuming that you already installed the software and you're able to bring it up here, we'll do a little bit of example programming on a little motorcycle here. I'm using Bluetooth BT410 receiver here, and I use a BT410 dongle on the PC side, look like this one here. So once you start on task, you can see that task is used for many computer robotic systems. So the one we use for is Dream. Right now, let's see. Let me check real quick. Right now, I have my version is the latest one, February 6, 2018, version 2.2.3. And even though it show that the Dream system here, it really show the Dream 1 robots. The Dream 2 robot are not out on the English version yet. Okay. And you click this button to check for update. So it shows I already have the latest. All right. The setting here, you can have English hotkey. So for example, it's in Korean and also in Russian if you need to. So we can, instead of you can use any of the Dream 1 example, really. It works. But I'm going to create something new from scratch just to show you. So also up here, this is the home. This is where we do the programming. You have to choose. And let's get back to that one. And then the other one. Okay. And then this one here is for the runtime. You see it keep on popping here. I haven't chosen the controller, so it won't let me go there. So let's say, okay, go new. And then the CM150 is the one we're using. So or you can choose a different one, you can see. So CM150, and choose it, and it starts. So make sure that the little field here says CM150. So it opened up a little start program out for us. And then over here, instruction. These are different type of command. Start, end, begin block, end block. Execute type, compute command, load command, label, jump. This is condition, if else. Loop, we have endless loop, loop while, loop for, wait while, and break loop. Function, create a function, call a function, return a function. Callback is a special hardware timer based kind of function. We'll be using it in the book. So usually it start for us already. So and that just started it. So we'll load. We're just gonna print something. So you can see that it's kind of beginner's editor, so it helps a lot. Anytime you have a question mark, you haven't finished specifying that statement. So right here, usually I hit the enter key here, or you double click on your mouse, and then it had to choose lots of category. Okay, and here would just practice a lot. So depending on which one you choose, and then all you choose here, a built-in sensor, I mean a different thing that pull out. Okay, so it will be it just take time for practice for you to know where to find things. I want to print something, so over computer controller device, etc., and then print screen. And then I just want the print number 101, let's say. And then I want to do another one, but I want to kind of lazy, so I can highlight it, and then I hit Control C on the keyboard, and I go down here, I hit Control V, so you can cut and paste like that. I want to change this one to print screen with line, and I want to print this one, change to 222, let's say. Okay, so that's not much of a program, but that's a legitimate program. So and then what you do is you can that's the instruction. You can go to variable. We didn't use anything, we didn't use any function yet, so see right now they're not highlighted, but in other application you see that we have it. So what we do, we can check on find the error, all good. Okay, it shows that I'm not using much. I didn't use any callback. I didn't use any variable yet. And I'm using memory 26 bytes out of 4096. I'm using only 0.63% of the memory right now. And everything is good, which of course, FGLZ. So in order to download to the motorbike here, so I had to make sure I have turned it on. So it's on. It has something on it already, but you can see it buzz a little bit. The blue line here is solid, so I'm connected between the PC and the motorcycle. One thing you make sure before you download, you click on the device, and then depend. You know, I'm using the USB serial port today, so sometimes I use the Bluetooth serial port too. So I'm using this, and I told you because I'm using that USB BT410 dongle, so I need to click on this one too. So I chose my right COM port. Well, what happens if you choose the wrong COM port? Well, it's gonna give you trouble because you cannot download it. So now everything's set, so I can go download, and it starts showing download. And it runs download. You can hear it beep, and then this is a very more annoying part. It's always turned itself off. Okay. So how do we do next? So if we want to see how this program run, you have to turn it on. The thing is, when you turn it on, it runs the program right away. So therefore, it may print screen and print the screen with line very quickly, so it may not catch it. So you need to go to the debugging screen first and make sure the same device that we had before, which is, you know, we still have on COM3 here. And click at start. So it'll be clear. So now it's connected through the COM port. But we haven't turned on the robot yet. So now we can turn it on. You say connect, test, and boom, you can see that it print out 111 and then 222, and that's it for a program. Okay, so not much of anything here. So let's say I want to turn on the motor for, let's say, a second. So let's see, let me set some speed so I can show you variables and stuff. So instruction, let's say I'm going to create a variable I call speed, common variable, and then you just type in here speed, and what speed do I want to set it to? So this later you learn that the speed is from 0 to 1023, so I'm just going to choose something average, 50%, 512. So when I set that one, now I can set up the motor, which in the back here. Okay, a little blue motor there. Okay, so the motor is on port 1. So it's another execute, it's another load. Okay, so I need to set up the port 1 gear motor. So controller device, accessory device 1. You see, depending which port you have, you can have different choices. 3 and 4 are more general, so you can see you have other options, different kind of servo motor, different kind of sensor, and all of that too. All right, so port 1, we have gear motor. Okay, and then you have to set up the speed to it. So go to common variable speed, it's already there by default. Now because I'm using a variable, so I click on variable, it shows all the variable I've been using. There are 2 places that I use the variable speed. Okay, now by itself like this, it won't work too well because the program execute only one time. So it sends a command to the motor, say, oh, you go to 50% speed, and then it immediately turns the program off. So yeah, it won't have a chance to turn on. So I need to do a little timing loop. So the timing loop is I have to load the timer. The regular timer is okay. And the regular timer, what is the value? And this timer is kind of weird. Every time you change by 1 unit, it's 1/8 of a second. So let's say I want to run it for about 1 second. Okay, so once the timer is on, I need to use wait while this long, and I basically just the timer, the way it's set up is once you set it up to 1 second, which is 8 count, it will start counting down. So eventually 1 second elapses. At that time, the timer will be 0. It's just like a microwave. So here the code had to be bigger than 0. Here. So essentially you can see I print out this 111222. I set up the speed to 512. I send the speed to port 1. And then the timer I set it for 1 second. And I wait until the timer out. So that essentially in the way I just turn on the motor for 1 second. So 1 second is elapsed. It's going to get to this step. So I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to turn the motor off. So put a number 0. So essentially I turn it off here. And just to be sure that it actually reached that point, I'm gonna print out some kind of statement here. Oh, my bad. Here we go. So I'm gonna print out 999, let's say. So you should see 111 and 222 go to the new line instead of the speed. Turn on the port 1 for 1 second. You're going to turn it off, and then print also 999. Let's check to see if any made any error. Click wrong one. You can see you can find different variables and stuff like that when you have a very big program. I'm good here. Usually you don't have to check the error if you want, because when you download it will check the error for you. So my robot is on, so I download. Okay, turn itself off again. I want to go here. I still connected. So turn it on. You see the computer, it just went that way. And it turned itself off. So let me turn it on again. Oh, sorry, I turned it off. On. Okay, so you can see it does 111, 222, and then 99. It's but after 222, you can see it move backward. The motor is that way, going that way. Okay, so that pretty much covers kind of a quick tour. We'll be learning more example later.